Ready?
Are we gonna get through this?
No. Yes, we'll be fine.
Oh, that's a timer.
Yeah.
At first, I thought it was the air conditioning. I was fucking with it.
It's 39 degrees in here. It's about to
It felt like it was 39 degrees when I walked
We
in.
like to combat our dab sweats proactively.
Oh, is that a thing?
No. Well, wait, which part?
Dab sweats.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Have you ever taken like a huge dab and then felt like super sweaty after?
Kind of, but I like more of just like I like coughed so much I like went into like a fucking coma. And am I allowed to swear?
No. Kids watch this.
Okay, cool. That's what I thought.
Welcome everyone to the garden that is Send Us Flowers, where we only curate the absolute best vibes. Today, helping me curate those vibes is Ashlee Belzo. She is an incredible creative. You have done so much work in this space, from social media to curating brand's presence to now building your own, I mean, it's just like a world of parties and community and introducing people to new experiences, new ways to smoke, new ways to have just like a very weedy lifestyle, which I love. But you also, do so much with the LGBTQ community. I know, like, let me just get the whole alphabet going.
Let's do it.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But you do so much for that community. And earlier you were even mentioning that you put on
Queer events.
And I actually had no idea about that.
Okay, well, you'll have to come to the next one. It's the 31st. So
Okay.
I will get you on the list.
Yeah. Ooh. Do I get lists?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God. Okay, yes. So I will definitely be there. And I want to hear all about that. But I've followed you for a long time, and you've talked about, finding focus and consistency in what you do, especially having like ADHD, which I think, I was like, yeah, how do you do that? Like,
You should have seen us earlier before this show. It was crazy.
We're like decibels.
But our energy is like kind of on the same like wavelength.
It is,
so that
for
makes
sure.
me feel good.
No, I love that. Because because there's some people who definitely like can bring energy down, no offense. But like, then there's people who really lift it up. And like whenever I see you, I'm always just like,
hey!
Everyone cover your ears. But yeah, so there's just a lot that I want to talk to you about that I think a lot of other people would really find extremely relatable, especially now post-pandemic. And then I want to talk, about 420 and what's coming up. You're the party queen.
Thank you.
I want to know, what can people do DIY for their own 420 event? And what are some of your biggest pet peeves at parties? And how can people like fix that? Because there really is something special in a good fucking party. Yeah. Like truly. Yep. It's creating a vibe. It's creating an environment. It's creating a space where you can let go and release and not be in your everyday.
Right.
And you create that.
Thank you.
So
it's very curated.
It is. And you're so good at that. And not a lot of people are, truly.
No, it is like
it's a skill.
I have
you have great taste.
Imposter syndrome sometime, and I'm like, oh, like anyone could do this, but like, and no shade on like any other events, but like, there's just some events that like really are awesome and they leave an impression on you and you think about it for a while, and some that are just kind of, not that. So I'm glad that, you've come to my events and you love them, and, you leave with like a good feeling about it. The farm to table event was incredible. It was like,
oh my God, we
best one.
have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay. But first, speaking of farmers markets, I mean, who are you sending flowers to? I love to start that way. A little bit of gratitude.
Can I send flowers to multiple people?
Yes.
I will send flowers to my family. I'll send flowers to Jillian and those who doubted me.
Hey, even you get flowers.
Even you get flowers.
Because you're the bigger person. You're mature.
I'm mature.
I'm so mature.
There
There is not a podcast episode now that I'm not like quoting a TikTok sound, and as soon as I do it, I want to like throw up a little bit.
God, but there's some of them are so good.
They're so catchy. Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, so
we're going on a tangent.
Real quick, you sent flowers to your family. Do they know that you smoke?
They do. Yeah, I actually have this like It's good now. I have a good relationship with my family about cannabis, but it wasn't always that way. And I think for me, like, you know, I had some stuff happen in college where like I was like, you know, financially cut off, you know, because of that. And that was really hard for me because I'd like just gotten to college, and, you know, that's when I really like needed that financial support. But then I came out here and like got into the cannabis industry, and it was kind of just like, you know, and it's made, you know, made something of myself in the industry. And now I'm like, okay, well, I'm making money, you know, doing what I love. And like, it includes cannabis. But yeah, no, my family knows. I'm not going to say this out loud. Never mind. But some of my family smokes too. So, yeah, they support it. And we're from Florida. So like Florida is like the next like biggest state. So it's like exciting for me, because if we want to like bring Puff Dao to a different city, which is like seeming like, you know, that needs to be the move, because the industry right now, or the state of the California cannabis industry is so hard, that we want to like bring these high end events that like, just some of these states just have no idea. Like, we are so lucky for like the amount of events and things that we've been doing. And like, you know, I'm sure if you go to Florida and you go to, you know, New York City, maybe there's a couple of good events, but it's just like, they're so new. They're like babies, you know?
Oh my God, it's crazy. And so I am curious, when did you come out to your family?
I didn't technically come out. I was like outed.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I was like 15, something like that. Unfortunately, my brother went through my AIM messages. We love AIM.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And he saw some stuff.
You've got mail.
Oh yeah. He was like home. He was like homesick from school one day. I was like using my computer, and like my chat log popped up, and
oh my gosh.
You know, younger brother was like, my sister's a lesbian. I was like, I don't even know if I'm a lesbian. I don't even know what I am. But like, yes,
You're like still working through that.
Yeah, I was like, I was 15. You have no idea. Everyone like, or not everyone, excuse me, I'm not going to say that. But like, I think like a lot of us in the queer community, like we start off as like labeling ourselves as bi, or we don't really know, you know, and then like, we grow into ourselves and we're like, oh, okay, like this is kind of so I, at that point, like I watched Tila Tequila, and then I was like, oh, okay, this is fun. Like, I think I like this. You remember that? Tila Tequila?
That wasn't personally like my reaction to her, but that's telling. Like, I think that's probably a pretty early sign.
Yeah, because it was like a shot at love or whatever, right? And there was guys and girls, and I was like, this is next level. That was way before their time, you know?
That
like,
really was.
Really great.
Early 2000s reality TV was truly
top notch.
I mean, like,
top notch.
I'm sorry, I know that, like, you can watch anything in the world that you want now, but that was a special time.
It was.
And so
the real world.
You were outed, and then you also include cannabis in your life. So
it
was contentious.
It was a lot. But no, I mean, time heals all, and you know, everyone has their own coming out story, and it wasn't like the way I wanted to happen, but like it was fine, you know. And I think for me, like, it was obviously hard, and I was bullied in the beginning, but then I like kind of like owned it. Everyone called me Belzo the Lesbo, so like I was like, you know, Belzo Lezbo. It's like literally it's the fucking same thing. But I took that back, and no, it was great. So yeah.
There is definitely a taking back of nicknames when you're a kid. Not that it's even remotely the same, but Busy is a childhood nickname.
Oh, really?
And I hated it actually for the longest time. But then when I started talking about weed online, I was like, I can't put this under my real name. And I was like, oh, I'll use Busy because I'm going to take it back. I don't hate it anymore. Yeah. And so I don't fully understand, but like I definitely there is a re-ownership of taking back something that like was used against you and being like, no, this is me.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah. No. There's some power in that for sure.
I totally agree. And there like you know, come off so self-assured, and I feel like you're very aware of yourself and grounded, especially in the person you've become. And so I'm curious, you know, how have you gotten here? How have you grown in that time?
Yeah, I think for me, it was just like kind of like trial and error, and, you know, a lot of, you know, failed jobs. And I mean, failed where like it just, you know, wasn't a good fit.
Yeah.
Whether I was let go or I left. I mean, I now every time I look back at it, of course, like I'm upset when it happens, but I'm like, if this didn't happen, then these, you know, other three things, you know, wouldn't have came to fruition. So I think for me, I got into marketing and social media. I came here from Florida, you know, doing marketing and social media for small businesses, like, you know, a pet groomer or you know, a roofer or like a bar, you know, just like all different types of businesses. And I just wasn't happy. And I was like, you know, I want to start doing marketing, social media, events, whatever the case is, for like something I care about. So that's when I was like, I quit my marketing job. I started working at a dispensary, like low level, and kind of worked my way up. And my first job was at the Higher Path. And we all know and love the Higher Path. It's, you know, one of the first medical dispensaries in Los Angeles.
Right. It's huge.
And I like, you know, worked my way up there and started working at MedMen, and yeah, just continued showing my love for the cannabis industry, and just really, you know, grew with it. And like we were talking about earlier, like the socialite thing is that like I don't like people using the word like influencer. Like I feel like you and I are both influential in the cannabis industry, and I started like doing a lot of content, and brands really like that. So like on top of me doing like marketing and social media, they're like, oh wow, like this girl also like, you know, is taking good content and is like the face of this. So I really was pushing that. And then, yeah, you know, one of my first like big jobs in the cannabis industry was when I was the head of marketing for High Season. And, you know, and that's where I met Alex, who is my business partner at Puff Dao. Yeah.
Okay.
And kind of got into Web3 a little bit.
Right.
And then him and I both stopped working at High Season, and we started Puff Dao.
That is incredible. And so when did you kind of start throwing parties and finding that groove for yourself?
I think, well, last year, like my own parties, maybe like things that like maybe I've produced stuff or put some stuff together in the past couple of years, but nothing.
You did like, I feel like you did a lot of event production, especially at High Season.
Yeah, we did like, we did.
I'm like, don't put yourself down that way.
No, we did do events, you know, like, you know, we worked with Hazy, and we did that 710, and, you know, like we said, like, I'm really just like good at like curating, like if someone needs something or we need to get stuff done, like I have a person for that. So I think the event situation kind of just made sense for us because of the fact that, you know, it's like, I'm already doing all of these things separately, so now let's combine them. But no, last year, like we threw like our first big event, March 5th, which was like actually the anniversary of the Farm to Table, which was so dope that we can throw an event on that date. But yeah, no, we started throwing events last year, and just, you know, kind of getting some brands to like believe because I've had connection with brands through like influential stuff or, you know, and being in marketing, it was easy to just say, hey guys, like we've worked together for a while. You've supported me. I would love for you to like kind of support this new endeavor that I'm doing, you know, Puff Dao. And I had brands like start donating stuff, and then they like saw how incredible the events were, and, you know, they're different and they're high end and they're not heady, you know, and like, no, again, like nothing against, you know, our stoner culture and like, you know, the headiness of that. But I think there's like a time and place like for everything, and there's certain events for certain things. And like, you know, with how mainstream cannabis is getting, of course, like I want to keep the culture, and, you know, like I'm, you know, obviously very aware of keeping that like a point, but there is going to come a time where like we need, you know, the Miley Cyruses who like smoke weed, you know, like they're not going to come to like a random heady event. They're going to come to something high end that is like digestible, and where cannabis is the essence. It's not the full thing. And I think that's, you know, cannabis is the essence of our events, but it's not like our whole thing. You know?
So one thing I will say is that when I went to especially like the Halloween event, but even the farmer's market had a DJ too, people dance.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like, I don't know where you're from. If you're in LA, you know no one dances here.
Yeah, I don't know. Like in a corner.
Like, what is that? It's
because they're too cool for school.
Like, you have to actively stop your body. Like, your body just naturally is gonna find a beat at some point. You have to be actively standing there. Right. Like, I will not move. I won't one fucking muscle.
Or if I move, I'm not cool.
I'm not cool. Yeah. And I love that people felt that they were in an environment that they could dance. I really feel like that is, it was so noticeable to me. Like, my boyfriend and I were literally dancing. Like, it's so
Does he dance a lot?
We love to dance. We love to dance.
I love your boyfriend, by the way. Your partner is so great.
He's the cutest. He really is.
My favorite little ginge.
Flowers to Charles.
Hi,
He's
Charles.
Gonna be like, shut up.
Like, babe, stop embarrassing me.
But he does love to dance. And I find that very attractive in a man. And I bet you do, a woman, of someone who loves to dance. It means they're like confident.
They're confident in themselves and don't care if they like look at like Alex, my best friend with Puff Dao. Like, Alex, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. He dances like a fucking dork. But
that's okay.
But he like does it and he gets in his groove and Alex is like, Alex also too, that's why it's great because Alex like can hang around a bunch of gay guys and doesn't feel weird because he's confident in his self and his sexuality. So nothing like, rattles him like it does people who like say that they're queer friendly but like get weird about it. It's like, okay, then you have something you need to deal with there,
Yeah. Absolutely.
I love that you said that, you brought that up though, because I think there's like an energy about our events that like we do have like a lot of like influencers and celebrities, right?
No, but I meet so many new friends there.
Like, and people were like originally who would like maybe like be in a corner at an event or like walking around talking to people.
Yeah.
Like you feel like so open and like it's welcoming. And like, I can't tell you how many people have sent me message, like you just said, that they've met so many people and they can't wait to, go to another event to see people again. Cause it's not like they don't want to like hang out with those people outside of the event, but it's like, they know that they're going to see like their friend from the Puff Dao event next time they go.
Of course.
Which brings me to talk about Puff Dao Lounge, and that's why we're in the process of raising capital and going the lounge route because there's only 2 lounges in the city right now.
Yeah.
And our biggest thing of our community is like originally like our main goal is to create the first ever community built cannabis brand, but with the way the industry is right now, like we need to focus on something that's truly going to bring income and build Puff Dao. And like starting a cannabis brand right now in California isn't really it, but
it's really hard right now.
People want a place to hang out with the Puff Dao community more than once a month because we usually throw like an event once a month. So like our community is like, I would love a co-working space that's like the SoHo House of Weed.
That would be
where we can come
dope.
like hang out. So like that's what we're working on right now is basically creating a co-working space that's just like a WeWork or like a high-end WeWork or whatever. And it's, again, cannabis isn't the full thing. It's not just like a weed co-working, but it's like, yes, you can smoke there. You can go to WeWork and smoke on the patio, right? You probably have to go outside, like on the whatever. So, it's really exciting to kind of get into that because California is flooded with brands and dispensaries, but guess what? It's not flooded with consumption lounges.
No, and it's been so tough. And I mean, even I haven't been to the Woods yet. I've been to the Artistry. And I've been to a bunch of lounges, like, in Palm Springs. I went to the Cannabis Cafe when that was open, and now High Times is like taking over.
Yeah.
Like that was so much fun. And so, I do feel like there's spaces that like are getting it or have gotten it, but I do think that there is room for a lot of work. And like that just makes my heart sing that that's what you're working toward because that makes so much sense. But also I would love to be in a space curated by you and to be able to go to events like that because I know that the person behind it actually gives a fuck. Like, no offense to, I don't like know who's behind like some of these other projects, but like
it's not as genuine,
Exactly. And not everyone cares about that, which is fine. And was something I didn't want to interrupt you, but like
no, that's fine.
The thing is when it comes to like Puff Dao or these different parties and events or different states coming online, like even this podcast, like there's different people who like to smoke weed.
The Chardonnay moms are coming out, like...
Oh my God, like people are like, the soccer moms will never smoke weed. I have a slew of moms that are suburban moms that constantly ask me for advice on what to smoke, what kind of edibles they like. I was going to say you might want to do the floopy thing.
What's the floopy thing?
Your hair.
Oh, no.
But it's good. It's fine.
I'm dead. I told her earlier that my hair does this thing where it gets like messed up, and it like when I see pictures of myself and it does that, and my friends don't tell me, I'm like, did you not take the picture and look at me and be like, hey, you look like Kim Jong-un, like with your like my hair parted down the middle? No, I mean seriously, like.
Amazing. Okay, so but like soccer moms, everyone smokes weed. There isn't like a certain just one type of person. And so,
and it doesn't have to be smoking though. That's the thing too, is that like, so Pamos, right? Like we'll give a shout out to Pamos. We love Pamos, really high end cannabis drinks. And it's like, you know, providing different types of products that are digestible for different types of, you know, people. Right. So like, obviously, yeah, maybe not every soccer mom or Chardonnay mom is going to smoke a joint, but they will drink a bougie ass cocktail in a, you know, a nice glass, just like it's, you know, a drink.
I love mocktails, and I love that it's become a more mainstream thing, even just at bars outside of weed. Like I don't drink alcohol. I haven't had alcohol in like over 3 years now. I stopped. I was like, this is not serving me anymore. This is not like beneficial to my life. And I was already kind of like cutting down, but then I just stopped completely. And then the pandemic happened, and I was really only like socially drinking. Right. And so I stopped drinking.
No, I mean, that's amazing. I'm not like obsessed with drinking. Like I'm definitely a little hungover right now after last night's piano bar.
Do you have makeup? I'm hungover.
I know. I was like, I need a Coca Cola. Guys, I'm sure everyone else can agree that like when you're not feeling great, if you like soda and you get that first sip of Coke, you're just like it
does do something different to you. Especially, okay, do you prefer canned Coke or fountain Coke?
Ooh, okay. If you're gay, don't listen to this. I love the fountain Coke from Chick-fil-A with the ice. And I love, obviously, McDonald's soda. Did you know that they actually have a specific syrup amount?
I heard the rumor. The McDonald's has like a different syrup.
Yeah, and that like Coca Cola, like they can't give it to anyone else. It's like a specific amount that makes it like crack. Deal. Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Well, you know they used to put cocaine in Coke.
I do. It's why it's called Coca Cola.
Yeah.
I read there's actually there's a great book called Capital Coke. I think that's what it's called. But it's about how Coca Cola was built as a brand, and it's like fascinating.
Oh, I would love to.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. We just got on such a tangent. No, I know. Now I'm like, we're like halfway through. This is the halfway through the joint conversation. Yeah. Is when we start to be like, hey, you know how Coke was made?
We're like, it literally said 40 minutes. It's already at 17 minutes.
Actually, we're making pretty good time.
Wow.
Okay, so tell me more about the lounges. What does it take to start a lounge right now? Like, what are those steps?
So this is what's interesting. I'm not going to give everyone the secret sauce, but it's like
you can distill.
You know, you need a license, right? You need a consumption lounge license, and like the only licenses that they're giving out are in like WeHo. It's kind of like the Vegas Strip, you know, like they're all going to be in the same area. Yeah, and I hate that because it's like, yeah, of course it's cool, but it's like, you got to spread them out. Like, what do you mean? Like, of course, the East Siders, why would they go all the way to West Hollywood to this is how, also when you think about lounges, it's so backwards because it's like, why am I like walking into a quote liquor store, buying a bottle and then going to the back where there's a bar, like there's a little bar in the back to smoke it. It shouldn't be, they shouldn't all be like connected to dispensaries. It should just be a standalone thing where it's like, obviously people are like buying weed, but it's like you also maybe charge like a corkage fee to come and bring your own weed so people can come hang out. You know, like I think they're missing the mark on hospitality. So that's where we're gonna come in, and like ours is gonna be more of like private members club, which is how we're gonna get around not needing a license.
Okay.
So yeah, I won't say much more about that because for reasons, but yeah, I think private members club is the vibe. Oh my god, we're fucking wavy.
It's like hot box.
We're hot box.
This is
you do this all the time though.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So yeah, no, the lounge space. Now I'm just high.
Okay. Speaking of ADHD.
Oh my god, yes. Let's talk about that because we haven't yet.
What is it like for you?
It's really hard, and I'll say it too, is that like at events, right? Like I'm running around and like I can't, people like want to talk to me and like
for sure
I can't talk to you for more than a minute because then I'm just like squirrel, you know, and like have to like my hair is doing that thing again. Damn it. it's,
ladies and gentlemen,
the ADHD is definitely like kind of debilitating. And like you and I just spoke about, we don't take Adderall, we don't take Vyvanse. And like, I'll say this is that like the times I have taken Adderall and Vyvanse, like it is a complete like difference, like I am more focused, and any of my friends know me, they know how like bad my ADHD is. And it sucks because I do feel like, especially like I own my own business right now, that like it's a startup, like it's scary. I've never, done this before. Like I need to be like focused, and I need to be like grinding, and I am doing that, but like I'm doing it not as focused as I should be, but I don't want to be relying on it. Like I think a lot of our friends, it's like they take it every day, but it's like, what happens if you stop taking it? It's like...
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are dealing with that because of like, the shortages and the amount that it was like pushed on TikTok. Like it is really crazy how much I go on TikTok and just like see,
ads.
The fucking ads for ADHD medication, which like, 19, 20-year-old Liz would have been like, fuck yeah, bitch, shop now. No, that's not the vibe. Like, I feel like that's a little like almost too accessible.
Yeah, and also too because the TikTok generation is so young, right? So it's like
so impressionable. So you see like one thing that it's like, this could be a symptom of ADHD, and they're like,
that's me.
Yeah, and then they're being heavily medicated very young.
Yeah, but when you do watch some of those videos, because you and I know we have ADHD, it's like it resonates so much. Like when I watch like the ADHD videos, I'm like I think these things and I know these things about myself, but to see someone say it out loud and give them words and like on like in a video is just like so not just reassuring. I think the word is reassuring.
Yeah.
That like it's not there anything wrong with us. It's just like our brains aren't as focused as certain other certain people. But it sucks because like I feel like there's a lot more shit I would be doing if I was on Adderall.
But I do feel like there's certain advantages. Like, have you ever done bionic reading? It's something I recently found out about. And it's something that bolds the first few letters of every sentence. And since your brain moves so quickly with ADHD, I don't know if that's true. I feel like it does. Though.
Yeah.
Like, but it like helps you move faster while still understanding what you're taking in. But it allows your brain to like fill in the gaps because people with ADHD are also very good at filling in like gaps of things.
Yeah, that's another interesting fact.
Right? Okay. And so I tried it because I was like, wait a minute, like that's pretty cool. Because I always do want to read faster, but my eyes are taking it in like slower than my brain is moving.
Yes.
And I get frustrated with that.
Then you have to read it again.
Yeah.
Do you like audiobooks?
I love audio.
Okay, me too, but then you have to go back. Is this your best episode yet?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It could be.
Let me know. Let us know below in the comments.
Compared to ADHD.
Also, like I was looking this way, and that's literally where none of the three cameras are.
I'm gonna be editing, and you're gonna be like,
I'm just like, hey. Oh wait, you edit this?
Yeah, don't worry. I do some editing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe.
No, you're fine.
But this has been great.
This has been great. Like,
this has been amazing. I'm in a hot box. Oh, so on your little thing, it said something about like coolest smoking situation.
Yeah, what's in your bag? Like, what are you smoking lately? You always have like tons of really cool like people at your parties and just.
I've been smoking a lot of like. I've been smoking Weekenders. I really like their joints because there's like it's not. They're like I think
that's a brand.
Yeah, Weekenders. They're one of the main sponsors at Farm to Table because remember we had the bites that were like inspired by the brands.
Okay.
They were the strawberry one, like the strawberry like whatever.
Ooh.
But we basically at our Farm to Table event we had a private chef, Chef Sarah. Shout out to Chef Sarah, she's incredible. But three of our main brands, Pax, Weekenders, and Palmos. We had like the chef make appetizers like based and inspired by like one of their main products. So Weekenders has like a strawberry dream strain, I think. Check me that.
That sounds so good.
And so she made like a strawberry like dessert inspired by it. It was so good. I ate like 5 of them. I ate other people's.
You were so ripped.
I was ripped. Well, that's another thing I'm telling you too. Every time people come to me, they're like, "Hey,
funny.
you want to hit this blunt? You want to hit this joint?" So I'm like, literally, I'm walking around my party and I'm like, I've taken like 20 hits in the past 20 minutes. But no, love those joints, and we're not okay. Love those joints. What else? Oh, I got my own little packs engraved at the party. The macaroons!
Okay, the macaroons.
Shut.
Okay, I did put that in that reel. It was such a cute recap,
what
too.
Did yours say?
Mine said busy, but
like,
someone else got cunt in it. And I was like, that's so cute.
Oh, like there was like a lot of people did
it was a cuntaroon.
It was. It was a cuntaroon.
I was boring. But I was like, I totally am putting my name in a macaroon.
Well, they were doing logos of all the brands for us, which was really cute.
That's
Thank you,
so
Hervé.
cute.
But dude, their macarons
really
are
good,
so
too.
good. And again, high-end cannabis products. Guess what?
Oh
These
my
soccer
God.
moms.
Yeah, it's infused. It's an infused macaroon.
Were
P.S.
those infused?
No, they weren't.
No, right.
But
it is an infused
but it
macaron.
is.
And it's macaron. Like, well, when I have calls with them, like they say macaron, and I'm like, okay, I can't call it macaroon. Like,
I can't call it
I'm talking
macaroon
to these people who are like
anymore.
from France, you
Yeah.
know, and they're like, it's macaron, and I'm like, oh, fudge-sicle.
How do you say it? Say it one more time.
Macaron.
Macron.
I think so. And honestly, someone may watch us and be like, it actually isn't even said that way, Ashlee, so you're an idiot. But
You're an idiot.
But I think it's macaron. It's like the on, whatever.
Okay, that is so fucking funny.
Wait,
Oh
I
my
want to
God.
say really quick, because I thought besides like what we're smoking on, it was like, what was your coolest smoking experience? Maybe I read that wrong.
No,
but I was just thinking about like 420 like concepts for a photo booth, and a couple of years ago, like I think it was 5 years ago when I was at Coachella, I don't know what the brand was. It was like literally like Lit or Lift or something, and they basically had a glass box, right? And it was almost like they had like a couch kind of like these, and there's like some plants next to it or whatever, and you're like in this glass box, and they you just go in and you smoke joints in it, and it has like this whole like photo situation that does it like slow, and it was like one of the coolest like photo op things that I did. But I think that was like one of the coolest smoking things, because I was just like sitting in my own hot box. Obviously we've hot boxed our own cars before, but I was like sitting in this glass box. It was so fucking sick.
Wow.
And now I'm thinking about it because I feel like I'm back in that shit.
And you're back in it.
Yeah.
Well, this is a glass door, so we can,
we're kind of in the glass box.
That's okay. You didn't properly have a smoke sesh if you don't drool a little.
You doing that? SpongeBob.
Okay, so before we run out of time, what are your biggest party pet peeves?
Can you clarify that question, like about like how parties are run, like
anything from like, is the food good? Do they have drinks?
Okay, so
like what's the atmosphere?
Okay, I understand.
Is it music? Is that like yeah? Okay.
So what's interesting is our 1 year anniversary farm to table event. It was the first time we've ever in the past year, and we've had like close to 15 events now, that we've had pop-up tents. And like, yes, last year we were throwing events like at, a mansion, and then we were throwing it at an art studio.
Yeah.
But I think my biggest pet peeve is, it's not these brands' fault. They're just doing what they're, used to. But like, I hate just like the pop-up tent and like the 6 foot long table and the tablecloth, like I really want brands to like go out of their way to try to be creative and activate in a way where it's just not like the pop-up tent situation. So a pet peeve is just like the basic, like nonchalant setup, and like brands just not like, it's not even about spending money. It's just like finding ways to like activate where it's going to be impressionable.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't always take a ton of budget to do that. No.
Like, Jetty at one of our events, they had like one of their like vape pens, but I guess it looks like a cylinder, like their product pack.
Okay.
And they had like a life-size one of that. So instead of like them having a 6 foot table, they had like 2 of those, and then they had like their little pamphlets there, and then like their brand ambassadors, like one was standing in between them, so it's like stuff like that. Or like,
yeah, I totally agree.
Who else? Sonder, their branding's incredible, and they had like
aesthetic.
these briefcases open, and then they had their Sonder like pop rocks in a pack with like, and like sealed in like a plastic thing with like a little note in it. So like people like had these little packs and it was just open, you know, so just, like on a little hand chair. So like it was things like that where you can be creative, and like obviously not everyone has the capacity to do that. And I know people are small teams and there's a lot of other things to think about, but I think for events, like, you know, try to be creative, try to think outside the box. You know, we don't have like 30 brands at our events, right? It's like this event, we had the most brands we've ever had, but like find a way to stand out, because, you know, I just don't, I don't like the cookie cutter vibe.
Okay, I totally agree. And then as an excuse me, as an attendee, is there anything that you especially look for going to an event?
Yeah, I think I look for like brands who have like employees and like people who are like representing them, who are like actually going out of their way to like talk to attendees. And I think I know that was like a hard thing to think, because I was really trying to like say it a certain way, but
I know what you
know,
mean.
it's like when you go to an event and like they're not talking or someone's on their phone or whatever, it's like you're already like kind of nervous if you're not as outgoing as you and I are to talk to people. So it's like what makes a good event is like good people and then like the energy. And when you have that, then it's like, okay, as an attendee, I feel good. Also too, like obviously good music, right? It doesn't always have to be a DJ. No. You know, it could just be like a Spotify playlist.
Yeah.
You know, like small things like, as an attendee, water. Like, I think free water is so important. Like, yes, you know, maybe not everyone can do that, but like, shout out to Liquid Death for sponsoring all of our parties, because like, you know, we're smoking. We need to be hydrated. Like all these people. And it's like, that's just the basic necessity. Just like, you know, if you can, offer your attendees free water.
Have a sip of water, everyone, now.
Just drink it.
Drink, like, drink for the rest of this episode. Just chug water.
I'm going to need a bottle after this. You have like 3 drinks. She has...
I do.
Your coffee,
I had a green drink on the side. I don't know if I liked it, though, to be honest.
Yesterday.
It was just very okay.
Ooh.
What'd you juice with?
Yesterday I made watermelon mint, but the day before that, I made like...
Ooh,
carrot,
really
orange, ginger, lemon.
Yeah, there's something about that is just truly disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't know what they put in there. It's not good.
It looks a little thick.
It's just, I don't know. Anyway, so for 420 that's coming up,
yes,
if people want to have their own party, what are some like solid recommendations you can give them to DIY their own Puff Dao vibe at their own house?
I think like just like, you know, for me, my favorite, if I wasn't throwing an event, which we'll talk about after,
you're like, I don't want them to be at their house, actually.
Like, let's move on. No, I mean, I think like it's always like ordering a bunch of food and like, you know, having a bunch of, you know, good weed. Obviously go to your dispensaries, get those deals, you know, like take advantage of that. Yeah. Also too, like maybe like baking. I think that's fun too. Like I've been getting gifted a lot of like cannabis foodie stuff, which we love. I know.
Well, and you're baked with Belzo.
Oh yeah, I did used to do that, baked with Belzo. I used to do like a cannabis cooking show. I don't really do it anymore, but I do love food, and I also did have a foodie Instagram called 2 Girls 1 Bite. There's just a lot of things.
Yeah, it all merges. It all comes together.
And then I'm a butterfly, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so no, what did you do last year for 420? I'm trying to think.
I literally like don't know.
You don't remember? I'm like, oh, it's so fucking high.
Someone asked me this on a different podcast. I probably should have figured it out by now.
Oh my God. We had an event in Venice at Budman Studios. It wasn't like our full event, but we kind of jumped on and we had a bud bar and it was great. Art too, like 420, it's like, you know, go get high and go to the museum, you know, things like that. I think is like, yeah, of course we all love
that's a fun activity.
Like we all love, you know, being home and getting stoned, but like getting out there, being high, celebrating it. Also like just celebrating like the culture. I think, you know, for our 420 event, like we want to celebrate like the people who like got us here and like we want to smoke and have a good time. And it's going to be fun. It's Twilight Zone themed.
I'm not going to be in LA for 420. I know.
Did you see the video?
I did. It was
Isn't
really
it cool.
Alex,
it took it 2 hours to make that.
I know. I have like the most FOMO.
Where are you going?
I'm going back to DC.
Oh, because that's where you're from.
Yeah.
DC.
You know what? That's where I was last year.
Oh, shit!
I was actually in DC, but I was working. This is the first 420 I'm not going to really be like... I mean, I feel like I'm still probably going to put up some... I'm probably going to do something.
You
but
have
like,
to.
I think this is the first 420 I won't actually be like working for another weed brand.
Oh,
like
so you're like
specifically.
free. You're free bird.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's kind of a crazy realization.
What are you doing in DC?
I have some like family stuff to attend to.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sick. She's like, actually, it's not cool.
Like, actually, it's not going to be that fun.
It's actually terrible. We'll talk about this off camera. We will talk. There's a lot of stuff we have to talk about off camera.
Oh my god.
Wait. What else was
dead.
another thing that we have to talk about before we wrap this up? 420. If you guys want to come, follow Puff Dao. You know, it's going to be a sick event. It's going to be in Hollywood at Be True Studios, which is a great event space, like near the In-N-Out Burger in Hollywood. And
perfect. You can get super ripped and then go to In-N-Out.
Yeah, there's gonna be a DJ. There's gonna be some, the best brands in California. Also, I guess multi-state brands too. Me.
Amazing.
Oh hi.
Oh my god. Anything else?
Is there
before
anything
you go?
else I need to plug?
No,
also,
plug maybe, yeah. But I was gonna say topics wise, I think we did it.
We were gonna talk about Miley.
I did want to know. Okay, so I saw a really funny comment that I think you shared that was like, how does it feel to look like the whole cast of Hannah Montana?
Oh my god.
And I like almost peed my pants laughing. I was just like, oh my god.
Dude, people like, it's like Mitchell Musso, Miley, obviously Hannah Montana, and then someone also called me Finn Wolfhard or whatever.
I don't know who
kid
that
from
is, to be honest.
Stranger Things.
Oh, okay.
Okay, are you ready to actually hear who I look like? Oh god, I can't believe I'm telling the internet this because I'm gonna get this. Nicolas Cage.
Oh my god, I see it now. Shut the fuck up.
They're like,
this is so wild. I could see that. We're gonna pull up a gigantic
Nick Cage
picture.
and Miley, and then a little bit of Shane from the L Word.
Okay, so
That's a queer show.
I would love to know in the comments
who you think I look like. Is it Miley? Is it Nicolas Cage? Or is it Shane from the L Word? What is it?
Oh my god. I'm gonna cry. That's the funniest fucking
I shouldn't
thing
have said anything
I've ever heard.
I can't wait for this episode.
Wow. Oh, okay. And then the last thing, I feel like you have a crazy party story. Do you just have like a crazy party story to share?
About
where,
my
like,
own party?
Or like any party that you've been to, or just something
Honestly,
where you look back and you're like,
I do,
damn,
but
what
like,
a night to remember. Is it
no,
like X-rated and you're like,
yeah,
I can't
like
even
I
share?
do, but like I feel like all my fun stuff is like, I can't talk about that right now. So let's leave it to the next episode and we'll see.
Why?
No.
Well, I now am so teased.
No.
Okay, fine. Okay,
Oh my god.
Well,
and also,
what a thing to leave off on.
yeah, I'll tell you after.
I'm like slightly offended.
It included Vegas.
Ooh.
And it was a cannabis party.
Ooh. And
I can't.
damn it. Okay. I thought it
It's sexual. I only smoked half the joint, so yeah, this fucking got me.
This was good. I did have, so that was a Golden State. And then these two are new to me. One is supposed to be
Phases?
indoor and outdoor.
Or no?
No, it's called Cello
Oh shit.
or Cella,
Mint Dipper.
Mint Dipper. And then this was like a Jack Flash. It's supposed to be like their take on Jack Herrera.
Jack Herrera. Do you like sativa?
Jack Herrera.
Is it her?
I like things that are tasty. So I wanted to try it.
We love terpenes.
I do love terpenes.
We do.
I go to the guy. I'm so embarrassing. He was like, what are you looking for? And I was like, anything that's fresh and tasty. I'm a flavor chaser. And then
Not the flavor
And then I
chaser.
wanted to sink into the ground because I sounded so dumb.
You said that to the dispensary bud tender?
Yes.
All right, and that's when we cut the show. I'm a flavor chaser.
Like, what is wrong with me?
Nothing.
And then I said that, and I was like, please tell me that was like another person talking. It isn't myself.
You like heard yourself after, and you're like, is this me?
You know when you like, you're
I haven't been to a dispensary in a minute. Oh, actually, that's not true. I've been to a dispensary.
It's a good dispensary. I like it.
Which one do you do?
Bodega.
Oh, they sponsored our event.
Really?
Yeah, we're talking about the one in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dig it.
It's right next to Puff House.
I like their selection. It's decent. So I shout them out. And the guy hooked me up today with like a really good, he like mixed and matched this deal. And so I have flower from like a Golden State and Alien Labs and Phases all to try.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
And they're yummy. So yeah.
I'm high.
We can go smell those. Okay. Well, thanks everyone, and thank you for coming.
Of course, thanks for having me. It was
Send Us
so
Flowers.
fun.
And it was really smoky in here right now.
It is. We have to do this again. I had such a good time.
Well, now you've like left us, this cliffhanger. So
I know. So we'll do it again.
You are gonna have to come back
and
tell us like these like sultry, salacious stories.
Maybe if you're lucky.
If we're lucky. Okay. Well, thank you all for watching another episode of Send Us Flowers. Thank you for, sticking with the chaos. I truly appreciate it. Drink some water, smoke a joint, and have a beautiful day.
See ya.
Bye. Okay, that was really fun. And fucking hilarious.
So fucking hot.